This screencast will introduce the Level 2 learning programme and show how it can be integrated into a unit of learning to support an inclusive learning environment. The Level 2 learning programme is designed for students with mild to moderate learning difficulties. For more comprehensive support in understanding and applying the Level 2 learning programme, there is a more detailed screencast available on Junior Cycle Geography in the Level 2 learning programme, which can be found under Departmental Planning in the Geography section of the JCT website. Students following the Level 2 learning programme engage with 5 priority learning units, or PLUs. The 5 PLUs are Communicating and Literacy, Numeracy, Personal Care, Living in the Community, and Preparing for Work. Each PLU is set out in terms of elements and learning outcomes. The elements of a PLU identify the important learning that a student will experience, and each element in turn has a set of associated learning outcomes. It's important to remember that the Level 2 learning programme should be part of the planning process in our subject department, and as teachers, by integrating the learning outcomes of the PLUs in our teaching, learning and assessment practices, we're supporting an inclusive learning environment. We will use the sample unit of learning Staycation to demonstrate how all students in your geography class can participate fully in a unit of learning, whether the student is experiencing their learning at Level 3 or Level 2. Before we begin, it's important to remember that every day we engage and assess all learners in our classrooms, for example, by asking questions and observing and listening to student responses, and by looking at what they write or how they engage in a task. For our sample unit of learning Staycation, we will look at different resources and activities that could be used to engage and assess the learning outcomes of both Level 3 and Level 2 at the same time. We will begin by using a map of the area of Clonmel and look at Learning Outcome 2.9, which requires students to assess the interrelationships between the physical world, tourism and transport. Students engaging with Level 3 could identify and locate tourist attractions on the map and examine how the physical landscape has helped the development of tourism in the area. For students experiencing their learning at Level 2, they could engage with Learning Outcome 2.33 from the PLU Numeracy, which requires students to use a simple map to find a given location. Continuing to focus on Learning Outcome 2.9, a student collaboration activity could also be used to engage and assess students' learning at both Level 2 and Level 3. Group or pair work, for example a sorting activity, can engage and assess all students as they work together to achieve a task. Students working together is an important key skill of Junior Cycle and can also help students engaging at Level 2 to achieve Learning Outcome 4.6 from the PLU Living in a Community, which requires students to participate cooperatively in a group situation. Another learning outcome from our sample unit of learning Staycation is 3.5, which requires students to examine the causes and effects of urban change in an Irish town or city. Another learner experience which can engage and assess all students at the same time is project work. Project work allows students to develop research skills and achieve learning outcomes, whether at Level 2 or Level 3. Developing research skills is important learning for students engaging at both levels. For Level 3, it's an important step in the structured inquiry process, which helps students prepare for their CBAs. Research is also important for students engaging at Level 2 in achieving their learning outcomes. For example, for a project on Staycation, they could engage with Learning Outcome 1.36 and find information for a project on the web. Building on this, they may produce a piece of work for display which engages with Learning Outcome 1.24 from the PLU Communicating and Literacy. The student may produce a poster or brochure to show evidence of their learning. Evidence of student learning for the Level 2 learning programme is captured in a portfolio or e-portfolio. For students following the Level 2 learning programme, the PLUs they have achieved are reported on in the Junior Cycle Profile of Achievement, or JCPA. Only PLUs that have been achieved will be included on the JCPA.